there, I'm Brandy and I'd like to show off some of our specialty Stampin' blends. As you may know, Stampin' blends are alcohol-based blending markers and they come in a large array of colors. Within the collection, we have 2 skin tones and we also offer a color lifter. These ones are a bit different and I want to start by showing you some of the amazing things they can do. Let's start with the color lifter. This is just one single marker and it actually has no color in it at all. But this is a must-have no matter what other Stampin' blends colors that you've collected. For being one single piece, it definitely adds a whole lot of versatility to your collection. So I'm going to show you 4 things that you can do with it. As the name suggests, this marker will lift the color away. So the first thing it will do is erasing. So I'm just coloring my little turtle here. And of course, sometimes as you're coloring, you might make a mistake. So I've gone out just a little bit right there. And of course, that happens sometimes. All you have to do is grab your color lifter and clean it up with that. I'm going to flip it around so I can get to it and just come right in here with the tip. If it's a larger stain, you can scrub it away with the bullet tip as well, which is on this side. It's a little bit harder, so you can press in and just scrub that right away. And if it doesn't go away all the way, you can let it dry and come back to it. There is some alcohol on the project here, and so if I let that evaporate and come back to it, I can lift away whatever's left. If it's a very large boo-boo, you might have to work on it quite a lot. But for your average, I just got crazy coloring and went out of the lines a little, this is going to work very well to tidy up your mistake. And so that's erasing. The next thing that your color lifter can do is highlighting. You can add that little shine to a bubble, an apple, or anything you want by using the color lifter. Here I've got a couple of balloons that I've already blended, and then I'm going to come right into the color and pick some up where I want to highlight. So go right there and right here. You can actually let it dry and continue to come back to it to lift more and more until it gets as light as you want. Until here are some that I have already let dry where I've got my highlights all ready to go. And that's your highlighting. The third tip that I want to share with you is blending with the color lifter. If you're coloring along, I've already started here on my turtle. And you start to get a harsh line. So let's come over here, fill this in, and if I go back over this side, I might have a little bit of a harsh line here that I'd like to blend. So I can grab my color lifter and do it. You want to go quickly and just soften up the line. Don't keep going over it a lot or you'll get a light line across there. Now you also can use your old olive light marker to blend that up, but that will continue to add color to the project. So using your color lifter is one way to do a quick blend with a light hand and not add more color. I did the same thing with my seahorse right up here. I only colored this using the darker marker. If you only have one shade to work with, you can build up color for a darker effect in some areas, and then use your color lifter to get lighter areas and blending on your project too. This allowed me to create a nice multi-tonal image even though I only had one color to work with. Here's a set of 3 little seahorses, and I did these all just with the darker shades of my markers. I used dark Calypso Coral, dark Pumpkin Pie, and dark Daffodil Delight. But look at all the great blending and highlights in here. This leads me to my 4th and last tip with the color lifter, adding texture. Let's check out the water around the seahorses. To create this watery look, I colored with my Pool Party Dark marker, and then I came back in with the color lifter and did a lot of lifting all around it. As you swirl the lifter in one place, the alcohol will pool a little bit. So I've got some color here. And then we'll come in here and do lots of lifting. the color starts to pool and even creates little watery edges around where the alcohol has gone. And that's how I got all of this color through here. I even did the highlights on my bubbles with the color lifter too. Here's my finished sample. And this is all done on our Just Add Color Designer Series paper. Now that we've learned all about the color lifter, let's turn to the skin tones. There's a bronze and an ivory, and they're each sold separately. Both of the colors can be layered, blended, and lightened to create a whole range of skin tones. So let's look at a couple of samples. Here's my fancy holiday lady. I started here by coloring her with one layer all over to get that light brown tone with my bronze marker. Then I came in and added a low light just to the shadowed areas like around her face and around her shoulder. And last, I came in and blended the line with a lighter tone, and I used a little color lifting to get that blended, finished look. You can use the ivory marker to come in and blend on top of here, or if you use a light hand, you can use the color lifter too. Here's my finished sample. This one's done in ivory. I colored my ballerina almost the exact same way. I started with one layer of the ivory color. Then I came in and added some highlights around her arms and hair. And last, I came and blended with the color lifter to get that line softened. And here's my finished sample. Now those samples were both done with very simple one-toned blending. You'll get that shaded effect just by going over the same area twice. I created a whole range of different tones by layering these colors on and even adding smoky slate or crumb cake in the light tones. I also loved how it looked to bring in some light pumpkin pie or the dark pink pirouette for those more peachy or rosy tones on your skin. As you start to blend, the possibilities really are endless. I've never considered myself to be a great artist, but the Stampin' blends make me feel like I am. I can't emphasize it enough. The more I play with these, the more confident I get and the more I want to try my next project. So I recommend that you get these critical tools, the color lifter and the skin tones, right away. To place your order, go to stampinup.com or contact your demonstrator. Happy blending!